Hello and welcome to PlayStation Unchained. I'm your host today, Chili, as we talk about all the news, gossip and all that fun stuff revolving around the PlayStation from the amazing website psu.com. Go check out www.psu.com. Joining me tonight is, of course, Gary. Hey, Gary.
Hello.
We're the only ones here tonight.
Yeah, it's okay. We're the best ones.
Yeah, you're the best one. I am just here.
Oh my god. Lies. Lies and slander.
So what have you been up to this week?
Oh, not much, Got to go and play Borderlands in LA.
I hate you. Yay.
That was fun, and then, yeah, just been hanging out, playing some Days Gone, and watching NHL playoffs.
Ah, cool. How has that been?
It's been pretty good. Some good games going.
I will try and nod and understand.
That's all any of us can ever do.
Yay! So, Days Gone you've been playing, right?
Yes, I have been.
Can you talk about it? I can't remember. Has it been released yet?
Yeah, it's been out for 2 weeks now.
Yay! That's how much I've paid attention to it.
Oh my god.
Well, no, I must admit, I'm not a big fan of zombie games, really. I don't mind them. I don't hate them like some people do, But also, tie in the fact that it's open world, it just drops off my radar as soon as those two things.
Because they're not zombies, Ben. They're called freakers.
Oh yeah, they're not zombies at all. Yeah. Not zombies at all. Just like the unicorns from Metal Gear Survive aren't zombies.
They've made it a marketing thing to tell you that they're not zombies. They're making sure you know.
So how's it been?
I've actually been enjoying it, to be honest with you. Yeah, it drags a lot. There's a lot of boring parts in it. Stealth takes ages to do anything in, which doesn't help because the shooting is kind of iffy right now until I get some more upgrades. But no, I've been enjoying it, to be honest with you. So
nice.
I want to understand the big divide of people not liking it and people liking it, but I'm just not really seeing it. The lowest I see it getting is maybe a 7, which is a very reasonable score for it.
As you can see, I gave you my reason why I disliked it.
Yeah, but
at the same time, I wouldn't call it a bad game for that. I just know it doesn't.
Like seeing the scores like 3 out of 10.
Oh no.
5 out of 10. I'm like, no.
Even without
it's sad because it is one of those games where it gets better the longer it goes.
Yeah.
Story wise, and obviously the things you're able to do and the locations you go to. And I feel like a lot of the reviewers didn't even bother getting to that point. Which, if you're reviewing the game, you got to play it as much as possible. I understand sometimes you won't be able to finish.
Yeah. I always try to put in, even if I'm not going to finish the game, if I'm reviewing a title, I want to put in at least 20 to 30 hours. I feel like that's the sweet spot. Unless it's a really, really short game and then it's really bad, then no.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where I think a lot of reviewers didn't really get to really the good parts. But then again, I also understand that you shouldn't have to wait 40 hours to get to the best parts of a game.
Oh no.
So I also understand it that way, but yeah,
an hour or two is fine. Any more than that, you're pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, seeing a lot of the scores, I see where they're coming from, but I just don't really quite agree with it. So, but yeah.
I spent a lot of this week watching Borderlands coverage.
Yes, you did.
By the way, I'm happy that I love the Echo Car system, and I'll be streaming a lot more on PSU.com, Twitch.tv/PSU Live, because the viewers will be able to. Oh, hiccup! Sorry, everyone. The fact that viewers will be able to win weapons when I open loot boxes. I love that feature. It's really nice. I like the fact that it'll be the same in the retail version. So
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, let's start with the negative part of Borderlands 3. Well, at least one of the negative parts I know of. Now,
Okay.
little Randy Pitchford, you know, the guy who also named his son Randy, um, because good for you, mate. He mentioned that there will be no microtransactions, loot boxes, or any free-to-play, you know, mobile currency thingy majiggy jogs in Borderlands 3, which will be launching in September on the 13th. Um,
Hmm.
but before he could even finish the sentence, he decided to lie again, because he then announces the fact that cosmetics will be purchasable with real money. Now, I can understand that he meant when he was talking about microtransactions, he was just really thinking of loot boxes and artificial coins and pay to win features such as level boosts or loot boosts,
Hmm.
which, by the way, it already has because if you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get a XP boost and a loot boost item. So yeah, a little bit pay to win there, mate. But in his is this defense? I don't want to say it's defense.
Then don't say it.
But Borderlands 2 also had a pre-order bonus where you got a loot and XP bonus. But really, it only lasted for a few levels, which in Borderlands is nothing.
Yeah.
So as much how useful these loot boosts and XP boosts will last in Borderlands 3, who knows? But they'll be good for leveling up altered characters, I guess. So
Oh, I mean, if you really think about it, a looter game like Borderlands or Diablo or any of those games that heavily rely on dropping loot,
yeah,
you're essentially opening loot boxes anyway.
that is true.
So,
Hell, you've got
uh,
golden keys, which though you can't pay for real money, you do have to use social media or all different
yeah.
types of services to get the codes to get your keys for the. You can't just open the golden box. You have to get
Mhm.
your keys from outside sources. So I guess social media to win.
I guess. I mean, it was funny because I was there during or not that conference, that gameplay reveal,
I
and
know I
he
saw
was
that
on
cool video.
stage. Um, and it was funny because, like you said, he said that, and then he brought up, it's going to have cosmetics, and then some of us just kind of turned to each other and say, "That isn't that microtransactions then?" And obviously, this is now stemmed from the article that Game Informer wrote,
Yeah.
and instead of just you know addressing it or saying that you misphrased it or something, he decided to attack Game Informer. And
So,
obviously, there's a lot of back and forth there, and
so if you ever listen to this Randy Pitcher, come at me, brah. I'll
the
still buy your
fact of the
game though.
matter is, yeah, the fact of the matter is it is microtransactions, um, because you are offering something with
Yeah.
real money. Just because it's not something you use to win the game in, it's just something to change the look of your character. It's still something you're paying with real money, and that is a microtransaction. Um, to me, even the fact that when you load up Borderlands Game of the Year edition, there is an ad that you can't get rid of on the main menu to Borderlands 3. That to me is a microtransaction.
For me, the worst part was when you loaded it up for the first time, and it was a massive splash screen. It's like I was sat here after loading it, hoping, please don't have this every time I load the game. It was like pre-order Borderlands 3. There's 3 different versions down below. Pick the one you want to pre-order, or press circle to leave.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but I understand what he was trying to say, but obviously he didn't phrase it, I guess, correctly. Um, but coming at people for reporting on your exact words is kind of bullshit. But then again, he showed us an awesome gameplay demo of Aliens, Colonial Marines, and
Hello, my
That's not what
baby. Hello,
happened
my
in
honey.
that game.
Hello, my hot
And-
girl.
yeah, and that's not what happened in that game. So
Yeah.
he sold us on that gameplay demo. Um, but yeah, and again, it's one of those things. What's funny too is he can say whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, 2K is the publisher, and if they
Yeah.
want microtransactions, they're gonna get those microtransactions in
They
that game.
sure will.
So just because you're saying it doesn't mean that's how it's gonna be. So they EA said it with Battlefront 2. We learned our lesson. After Battlefront, we're not going to do this, and then they made it worse.
Well, they didn't do it, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't do it, but they sure did a lot worse. So
They sure did.
and
but
that
yeah.
game hasn't recovered since.
So you were at the reveal event.
Yes, I was.
In fact, I saw that little video of you. There was a World Garion, and you pop your head up. I laughed.
Yes.
That was
good.
good.
I was there.
Yeah,
It's funny because I scared her because I finished my playthrough because I wanted to get the footage.
Yeah.
And she was still playing. I just kind of stuck my head in and was like, shoot him in the head. And she freaked out and jumped. It was quite great.
There was some people like that, though. I was watching one of my streamers. I watched Mr. Happy on Twitch. And he was playing as... I think it was as Zane at the time. And it was just as the show was ending, and people kept leaning in to talk to him while he was playing. Though he did have one employee help him out find a chest. So the stream now kept calling that guy employee friendly stranger. Friendly stranger. He kept leaning in, pointing where to go. It's like, oh look, it's friendly stranger again. Hello, friendly stranger.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, she was a good sport. Dirty F and Hippie is her Twitter handle if you want to follow her. Really cool girl.
Yeah.
Great sport. But yes, I was there. I got to play about 90 minutes of the game. So
Oh. Did you get the legendary weapon?
no.
Oh.
Funny thing is, so I played in the 90 minutes, and you can watch my 90-minute gameplay on
PSU?
PSUyoutube.com. What's funny about my gameplay is if you watch it, you'll see that a lot of the weapons that spawn for me, about, I would say, 80 to 85% were all sniper rifles.
Wow.
And I wasn't happy about that. It was that, or it was handguns. I had, obviously, other weapons like shotguns and assault rifles, but they were crap. They were, like, really shitty weapons, and I didn't feel like using them. I eventually used one, which was a pretty cool rifle, a single-shot rifle, which you can see in the gameplay video as well. I really fell in love with that weapon.
And I'm sure in the last few minutes you abused the cheat button as well.
There was a cheat button?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Didn't you?
No, nobody told me there was a cheat button. What's the cheat button?
It was P, I think, if I'm rightly.
And what did it do?
It spawned weapons.
Oh my god. Awesome. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least on the streamers, when they were streaming it, they weren't allowed to use it until the end of the sessions. But after the end of the sessions, they were allowed to run around it and just threw weapons on the ground.
Awesome.
Though, to be fair, the chances, it showed how rare legendaries were because they were given like 3 or 4 minutes to do it. I think Mr. Happy got 2 weapons out of that entire time. And there was hundreds on the floor.
Legendary weapons are the gold ones, right?
Yeah, the gold ones.
Actually, I think one dropped for me after I killed the boss.
After Gigabrain.
Yeah, I think a gold one dropped, but I didn't use it because it was 2 levels lower. Right, was weapons that I had.
It was an interesting weapon. The boss you fought, Gigabrain.
Yeah.
It was an assault rifle that if you reloaded it, turned the remaining bullets into a mini version of the Gigabrain that runs around and shoot things.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then it explodes once it runs out of ammo.
A weapon I picked up from Gigabrain was a assault rifle where I would shoot it, but and I didn't know exactly what it did because I would shoot the weapon, right, and enemies wouldn't get damaged. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this weapon? And I noticed that the bullets are flying very slow, so there's like a delay before they actually hit the enemy. But when they do, they're like darts in a way.
Oh well.
So they hit the enemy, and then they start beeping and they explode. uh, so if you're up close to an enemy, you can bombard them with like 30 rounds, and then you just see like 30 bullets exploding on them. Just
Oh, that's cool.
shit.
Kind of reminds me of the from Resistance, like the rip-off version of the gun from Halo, the Needler.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a pretty. That was the funnest weapon I got, at least.
I didn't see it get used, but I heard that it was a gun that shoots burgers.
I didn't see that, so I have no idea. The gun that they obviously showed off, which you guys saw, was I guess the Fifth Element gun is what everybody calls it, where you tag an enemy, you shoot wherever you want, and the bullets just curve and go towards where the enemy is.
Nice.
Which is a pretty cool weapon. I didn't get that weapon, but they showed it off in their gameplay reveal. So
I think that was a Hyperion gun. Yeah.
Either a Hyperion or an Atlas gun. One of the two.
No, yeah, you're right, Atlas. Yeah, Atlas. I heard you got some cool goodies from it.
I did. I got some very, very nice swag, I guess you can say.
By the way, just a shout out to 2K for thank you for paying for our flight and for our travel and for the hotel.
Yes.
Well, not me, but for PSU.
Yes, thank you very much. Much appreciated. I had a blast.
Yeah, and I hate you. I mean, yay, go Gary.
Yeah, are there any questions that you have particularly for me from what I played?
How did the movement feel? I could see that the movement's changed because they've got more slidey and shooty bang bang sort of. It reminds me of Mirror's Edge.
Okay, so obviously it's moved on to the Unreal Engine, which has allowed them to do a lot of different things. I felt as I played the game that it feels a lot like Bulletstorm now, where the movement is a lot faster now. The reason they showed off, obviously, the sliding and a lot of that is because it's new.
Yeah.
Sliding and jumping and grabbing on the ledges. Obviously, you can jump in Borderlands before, but you couldn't grab onto a ledge. You have to find a way around it. Now, obviously, you can grab on ledges. So I felt the movement. I actually enjoyed it a lot more because it allowed you to pull off some really cool moves. That you go from run, you slide in, shooting enemies while you're sliding. From the slide, you jump and you melee somebody as you're landing. You can pull off a lot of cool stuff. And I feel like Borderlands needed this because I don't think a Borderlands that plays like Borderlands 2 really would have pushed the franchise forward, I guess you can say.
Well, there's people complaining that Borderlands 3 doesn't push it forward enough. And I'm sat here thinking, what were you expecting? It's still going to be Borderlands.
Well, the thing is, yeah, if you push too much, then it's not Borderlands anymore, and that's kind of why I appreciated the subtle changes and the small changes they made, because these changes obviously aren't huge, but they're enough to distinguish it from its predecessors. And I think it's the right move. Obviously, the big grab with Borderlands 3 is the amount of guns they're going to have this time, and the insane amount of things you can do. Which is also a little concerning for me, because if you watch my gameplay, you'll see there's a lot of stuff going on screen.
Yeah.
A lot of enemies, a lot of explosions, crazy stuff happening. And then when you have a co-op partner, which you can watch from their gameplay reveal, and if you really pay attention, it's really hard to really notice what the hell was happening. When we were sitting there watching that gameplay reveal, I personally was like, I don't know what's going on. because there's just shit blowing up all over the place, and I don't know who
I
the
remember that
enemy
was just
is.
with one
I don't
co-op
know.
partner. Borderlands
Yeah,
supports 4, so...
4, which is going to cause a huge problem. Not only that, it also has split screen co-op,
Yeah.
which is going to be even more crazier. And yeah, there's a lot of chaos happening. And I guess that's a big concern for me because we got to play the game on a very, very powerful high-end PC.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I was thinking, and I even alluded in my hands-on previews, like, I personally don't believe consoles will be able to handle what we saw, especially with 4 people and the amount of explosions that are happening. There's definitely going to be slowdown, frame rate drops. That's almost a given.
Oh, yeah.
And in split screen, I don't know how much that's going to hurt texture quality as well. Because if you remember the original Borderlands, when you played co-op, split screen co-op, the game took a very big graphical hit.
Oh, yeah. It always... Because it's got rendered 4 screens instead of 1.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be even worse now.
Yeah.
But again, it's something we'll have to see come September. But as of right now, it looks great on PC, especially the high-end PC we played is very, very smooth. The frame rate is fantastic. But I'm yet to see how it will run on consoles. So.
But yeah, the split screen should run at 30 frames on consoles, if I'm rightly, compared to 60 frames in single player. So
yeah, and see, that's going to be a big problem if you're trying to pull off a lot of the cool stuff that you're seeing.
Yeah. I was thinking about something else. Oh yeah, that was it. I know the maps are more vertical, but it really feels like, at least from what I saw in that map, it seems a lot more linear than the previous game. When it comes to actual map size, it seems very
that's
corridor-esque.
actually something I talked to a lot of people there with, not any of the developers, but other press. Because you're going to so many different planets now, it's one of those things where I kind of brought up in just general conversation is like, how big are these maps going to be? Like, is each planet going to be the size of, the map of Borderlands 2 or even Borderlands 1? How linear is it going to be, like you said? Because we didn't get to see the entire map, From what I played on planet Promethea, I believe it's called, which is like this the headquarters of Atlas, and they're at a civil there with another company.
I think it. Yes, that's what I saw on the stream.
Yeah, that's the only location we were allowed to play in, and it felt like a good chunk. A lot of it requires you to use your vehicles to get around.
Yeah.
You can, of course, go by foot if you want to. I don't recommend it.
By the way, I was the only one that seemed to notice that he's like, oh my god, the wheel. The new vehicle, the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't know if you've ever watched South Park.
I have watched South Park.
It just reminds me of that vehicle that Mr. Garrison invented. Where it goes up your butt.
Oh my god. Well, I got to drive that vehicle, and that actually driving is a big concern for me right now because I didn't like it at all.
Oh well.
They didn't seem to improve it in any way. Right now, pretty much your left analog stick is used to drive, so you have to hold up on the left analog stick to accelerate, down to decelerate.
Yeah.
And your aiming is your right analog stick. That's it.
Oh wow.
And the problem with that is if you're aiming, say there's an enemy on your right, when you aim at them, you have to turn the entire vehicle to hit them.
Oh wow.
Not fun at all.
By the way, did you notice about the how to get vehicle upgrades?
I did not.
I found this out while I was watching another streamer. Sorry I know you've been to the event, but I've watched a lot.
Fine.
The enemy vehicles that are driving around?
Yes.
If you kill the people in the vehicle without blowing up the actual vehicle and steal the vehicle, if you take it to a catch a ride, it actually unlocks parts that you might not have.
Oh, nice.
So that's a way to unlock vehicle parts.
Well, there is a feature. You probably saw it in one of the trailers. You can hijack the vehicles now from enemies. If you're close enough, a prompt will appear and allow you to kind of jump over there and take it. I wasn't able to do it. I actually didn't know you can do it until after I finished my gameplay. But you can do it. You can jump in and hijack vehicles if you want to.
I heard some of the vehicles, the drivers in the vehicles, are a little bit stupid.
I don't know. I didn't really run into any bad AI when it comes to that. So
yeah. I heard not the stream I was watching. I was just reading some stuff that one of the vehicles just decided to park. It wasn't driving. It was trying to drive into the wall to get to you and decided to just stay there.
Well, it's still early on, man.
Well, to be fair, they had those glitches in Borderlands 1. I had that in Borderlands 1 when I was playing through it again recently. We were just...
So you're saying they don't care?
They don't care. I mean, nobody likes the vehicle part, so it's not like it's a bad glitch.
No.
Not even the AI likes the vehicle parts.
I felt like they could have fixed it in this one, but, obviously they
yeah. Even the AI gives up with the driving of the vehicles. That's how bad it is. They're like, fuck it, no, can't be asked. I'm just parking and let it kill me.
Oh, jeez.
But while we're talking about AI, I heard that the AI can now revive you when you go down to fight for your life.
Yes.
So
they can, and that was cool because, again, you can watch my video. I did die a few times against the boss fight, and Zero came in and revived me, which also irritated me because Zero did not help me in the fight. Right before you get to the fight, he's like, "Let's see what you're made of. I want to see how good you are," and then he just takes off. I was like, "Awesome." But
see,
yeah,
at least your Zero liked you. Again, I was watching. As I said, I was watching Mr. Happy. And you know the bit before the boss fight where you got that, like, I guess it looked like a bit like a mall, like the big open area with the stairs going up, and
yeah.
He died there, and Zero was stood in front of him with just the smiley face, and then ran off. And he bled out because Zero didn't do anything. I was like, okay. That's great.
But no, yeah, AI can revive you. Even random NPCs and grunts. Like if you're in a fight and there's obviously the resistance fighters on your side there during that story sequence, they can come in and revive you if you go down, which is pretty cool. Or you can still revive yourself, kill any enemy around you, like old school Borderlands. The game does feel a lot more difficult this time. I will give it that. There were some parts where I was definitely fighting for my life. I died earlier. I was doing a side quest, and I died during that side quest because I was stupid. But luckily, was able to revive myself. But I also feel now, I don't feel like there is like a unique. I guess how can I say this? I feel like enemies now are just randomly placed together. Like you'll see the psychos and you'll see, the military guys. They're all fighting on the same side. Yeah. And it really kind of it makes them non-unique. You know how in Borderlands 1 and 2, like they had their own little areas to stuck to. Now they're just all together, and obviously it's because of the cult that's in the game that's bringing all these guys together. But it just feels like it's very random.
Yeah.
Like you're in a huge military fight, and then randomly there's some psycho running at you. You're like, what the hell is that? I wasn't too big of a fan.
And female psychos now. It's not just males.
Yes.
Yeah.
Female psychos as well.
Yeah.
The major psychos
the
are
strongest.
back as well.
The strongest of all psychos. I'm guessing Luke Goliath will be back as well and all that lot. The standard stuff.
Yeah, there's a shit ton of Like, you can kill any random enemy and they'll just drop shit. It actually got very overwhelming, and the fact that you only have 13 inventory slots is really fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I hate that about Borderlands 1 as well.
And I'm hoping they increase the starting amount that you get when you start the game. Obviously, you can increase it later with your skill points, but 13 with how much loot you get, you can be in one encounter and be full in your inventory right away. Not cool. Not cool at all.
Also, it looks like you've got to have to unlock the weapon slots again as well, because it looked like you only had 3 different weapon slots.
Yes.
Yay! Just give me 4 weapon slots. At least then that way I've got 4 different weapons I don't have to have in my inventory.
Yeah, well, another cool thing to add is the alternate fire mode now. So not every weapon has it, I noticed, but for the majority of them, they do. They have an alternate fire mode, and some of these are really cool. Like, they showed some off in the trailer, where you have a pistol that shoots random rounds, and you go to alternate fire and start shooting rockets instead. Though the weapons I got didn't have fantastic abilities in them. But one cool one that I got was with the submachine gun that they actually give you that sets people on fire. They gave you a scope on it. And what the alternate fire does is once you use the alternate fire, it pulls up the scope and it turns your submachine gun into a sniper rifle. But what's cool is it actually works very well as a sniper rifle then, because it's still very accurate from a very far distance. And the scope kind of essentially turns it into a semi-automatic sniper rifle. Which I thought was really cool. Yeah. And obviously there's a whole bunch of other ones that's there, like that you probably saw in the trailer.
Go check out the trailer if you haven't watched it yet for some cool footage.
Yeah, like the walking machine gun that they throw has little legs.
Yeah, that's what the Giga Brain thing looked like, by the way. Imagine that, but as the Giga Brain just running around shooting bullets.
That's awesome.
We were joking about that. Imagine if we were like, imagine if there's like a gun with legs that also holds a gun.
There's a shotgun, which is a standard shotgun that you use. But then if you use the alternate fire, it shoots all 8 rounds at once.
Oh wow!
So like you can easily kill somebody, but obviously it's going to become an ammo hog if you do that. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Again, not every weapon has the alternate fire, from what I noticed from my playthrough at least. But for the majority, they do, and a lot of them are really cool.
No, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with the PvP mode, because Borderlands 1 and 2 and the pre-sequel all had a 1v1 PvP. So,
Oh joy!
do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, because that was one of the ways in the previous games to do your loot dupe glitches. So,
no, well, a really cool thing they're doing now is obviously the split loop and co-op.
Yeah.
Now you can have it the old way if you want to, or you can change it now where loot drops depending on your level, and characters get, or each player gets their own individual loot, so as to not steal something from somebody else.
See, I
which I think is really cool.
See, I don't know how much I like or dislike that.
No?
It's nice when you're playing with randomers online. Yeah, that would be cool. But if you're playing with friends, it's always nice to sort of divvy out loot.
No, and you can, because obviously that option is still there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I know luckily the option's still there, but that's one of the things I used to like. It's nice to do. It's like, okay, look, an SMG's dropped, I'll take that. Oh, look, a shotgun's you've dropped, you take that. Mm-hmm. So, unless you have someone in your group that just goes around stealing everything.
Yeah, and obviously you can still play it that way. The other cool thing is the scaling they have now. So, like, say you go in with somebody who's level 23 and you're level 6. The enemies for them are still going to appear at level 26, but they're going to appear at level 6 for you. So it's not like they're going to go in and they're just going to kill everything for you. you're still going to be playing the game at your level. And even like if the loot
That's good.
drops, the loot is going to drop and it's going to be a level 4 weapon for you, but that same weapon, like it will be the same weapon, but it'll be level 24 for them.
That's cool.
It also takes the weapons that they have, for example, and it also takes down the damage that they do to kind of mimic the I guess the lowest player's skill level, I guess, or difficulty that they're at.
Well, gear
So
score
even
level.
yeah.
Because I noticed that's something new they've added. Is the weapons now have gear scores.
Yes, they do have
Gear score.
Yes, gear score, which also
Numbers.
really helps in realizing which weapon is better than.
Yeah, because it was always good. You know, it's like, oh, I've got a level 50 weapon. I'm level 50, but sometimes that level 50 weapon wasn't better than. It's like I had a level 47 pistol that had higher stats than the one I got at level 52 because of RNG. It was the same gun as well. It just had a lower DPS rate. I was like, why is this? It's like, oh my god, a 52 version. I love this gun. Wait, what? It has less damage? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, game. So a gear score, at least you'll be able to tell it easier.
Yeah. They also brought back the gore from the first one, which is pretty cool.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask like because Borderlands 2 dropped the gore by a lot, I guess because of... We'll see how it is on console, because I feel like that's another thing that might get a hit.
It might, but from what I saw, it was very easy to shoot off somebody's head and arms and anything else you want to shoot off, I guess.
Like their legs.
Yes. Like their legs.
Also, the people talk about the feedback of the enemies. Did you feel like they got... You felt like your guns were being...
Huge improvement. Yeah, a huge improvement. Very less bullet spongy than the last game by a ton. It really feels like you're actually doing damage to enemies now, which is awesome. Yeah, they react very well. Massive on that level, for sure. I never felt like I had to unload an entire clip just to damage something.
Oh, hello, Division. So, can you tell me what your overall thoughts about the game were?
Yeah, like I said, I very much enjoyed my time with Borderlands 3. I went in there not expecting to enjoy it at all, to be honest with you. But I came out very much enjoying what I played. I do feel like they still have some things to work out, especially with the vehicle combat and the maneuverability of that. I have my concerns about the amount of stuff going on screen, especially when it's going to come to all these crazy weapons that run around and blow themselves up and stuff like that. That's obviously a big thing to still really look at and consider going into the final stretch of it. But I feel like all the improvements that they're making in the game is definitely a positive thing. They're taking a lot of the feedback that they had, and they're addressing all of those. So definitely a lot more good than bad compared to Borderlands 2.
That's good. Borderlands 3 will come out in September. If you're going to pre-order any of the collector's edition, I'd recommend just going a little bit higher and getting the Super Duper Deluxe. Just because it's a little bit better of a deal, in my opinion, than buying the Deluxe edition. So...
if you want to spend money.
Yeah, if you want to spend money, then... I should say, if you want to spend more money. If you're going to go for the normal edition, go for the normal edition. But if you're going to get the deluxe edition, I'd say just spend a little bit more and get the super duper. Because I think the super duper is like $10 more. But it includes the season pass. So
Well, there you go. They did confirm that it's going to
Yeah.
have DLC like that, story DLC. So
Yeah, 4 different campaigns packs like Borderlands 2. But they also mentioned the fact that the Super Duper Deluxe, once the game launches, the actual that version will actually go up in price. The cheaper price is only as a pre-order bonus. So, yeah. I personally can't wait. I love Borderlands 2. I love Borderlands 1. I was kind of iffy about the pre-sequel, if I'm honest.
yeah, a lot of people were.
Mainly because of the auction system. I didn't like the idea, the having to run around getting oxygen. Especially for pretty much the whole game. So, uh, I guess that's about it for Borderlands. Oh, yeah. Ray Chase, aka Noctis from Final Fantasy 15, will be playing Reese Reyes.
Reyes, yes.
So yeah,
Which was previously played by Troy Baker.
yeah. Which we're not going to go into because that's a whole kettle of fish right there.
Yeah.
So his voice did sound really weird though. Just about I played the Tales from Borderlands.
A lot of people were very upset about his character in Borderlands 3 because they completely changed his personality and they made it more Borderlandsy rather than Tales from the Borderlands. I guess from what I've been hearing from some of the people and the developers is that there's a reason for that. They explain it in the story. I just feel like it's an excuse, but that's just me.
I feel like Jack's coming back, baby.
They've said pretty much 100% that Handsome Jack is not coming back.
They keep saying he's dead.
No, Randy Pitchford said he's not coming back.
This is going to be Jack.
But then again, Randy Pitchford said Alien was going to be good.
Remember, because at the end of Tales from Borderlands, spoilers for this old game, if I'm rightly, that this whole story was that Jack Black had Jack Black.
I'm okay with Jack Black being in this game.
Jablinski Games has just been a promotion for Borderlands 3 all this time. What's Jabelin Jables? So yeah, Handsome Jack or Jack Black had like an AI inside Reese Reyes, and then you had the chance of keeping him or deleting it at the end. So depends on which canon ending they're gonna go with. So we'll see if Jack Black returns in Borderlands 3. Handsome Jack Black. You know what, Randy? If you want to sell me a skin, I would pay money for that skin, and I'd pay extra money if you could include him doing the voice acting as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, screw your Duke Nukem voice pack, okay? I don't want a Duke Nukem voice pack for Borderlands. What I want is a Jack Black voice pack for Borderlands.
You're asking too much, man. You're asking too much.
Look, if they want money, they can have money this way.
Glad your morals are not taken.
Look, I know that anything like that would cost us a load of money, so yeah. I'm going to accept it and bend over right now.
Oh my god.
Just bend over and accept it. Accept my fate.
Good for you.
I guess there's some other news that have been going on. Like, haven't they teased a new indie game? Like, what was that franchise again? Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty.
They teased an indie game?
Yeah, they got a new Call of Duty teased, haven't they?
Oh, you said they're teasing a new indie game.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Like,
I've never heard of it before.
Oh my god.
It's a very, very unique title there.
I don't really see how it's a teaser or. I think it's pretty much a guarantee that there's always going to be Call of Duty every year.
Not every year.
Every year.
My God.
Every single year. But yeah, Black Ops 4 or Modern Warfare 4, sorry, is what it's rumored to be.
And I'm sure we'll see it at E3.
I know there's rumors started early that it is going to have a campaign this time, not like Black Ops 4.
That's not a rumor, that's pretty much confirmed. They said that they're only skipping... when Blackout came out, they said they're only skipping it that, and then the next game would have campaign, so...
Oh, well, there you go. I missed that bit of information, I guess.
So
yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
They're probably going to reveal it during the NBA Finals, which I believe is when they revealed the last Call of Duty.
Yeah, because the NBA players got to play it early, didn't they?
That's the rumor, yeah. They did get to play it already.
Well, there was pictures of them, wasn't there?
There was, but there was no concrete evidence that they were playing a new Call of Duty. That's the thing. Everything they showed seemed to be old Call of Duty, all the promo or all the posters, and I guess there's a statue there. Nothing to confirm that it was Call of Duty.
Oh. By the way, remember to go check out PSU.com to read more about Gary's impressions of Borderlands 3.
Yes, and go watch my video, please, because I had fun picking around in the menu for 15 minutes. Trying to figure shit out.
Also, PSU.com, I love you, but stop giving me the horrific Sonic trailer as an advert.
Hey. They're changing his design now.
Yeah, it's probably going to look even worse.
Which I think is a terrible thing. I feel bad for everybody who's worked on that movie now.
Yeah.
Because not only is this going to cost them millions and millions of dollars, but they are going to feel video game crunch time right now because that movie's coming out. And now they have to redesign him and re-render every scene that he's in. It's not cool.
Mike, the conspiracy head of me says that the chances are it's already been done, and they were just waiting for people's reactions.
I kind of see that too. I think they started redesigning him back when the first poster of him came out. The silhouette, and people already knew how bad that was going to be.
Yeah.
That, or they already had a backup plan in case it was going to be accepted.
You know what is acceptable? The PlayStation Plus rewards for next month, which come out... Oh, they've just been officially announced, but it should be this Tuesday, right? This Tuesday, I think.
Yep. They're coming this Tuesday.
With Overcooked and What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, if you're going to download anything this month, make sure it's What Remains of Edith Finch, which is an incredible game.
Overcooked is a great game too.
Yeah, I'll probably give that a go as well. I watched some video footage on Team 4 Star Gaming.
It's fun. It's a fun co-op game, man.
See, that's the problem. Co-op. It's just me.
Yeah.
All by myself.
You really learn that you and your friends aren't as coordinated as you probably think they are.
I guess it's going to be a short episode this week because it is just me and Gary. So,
excuse me, there's Metacritic that you're supposed to give me points for.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
It's only because I want the points.
I should have opened it. Nope, that's the wrong folder. Why have I got so many folders? I need to sort this out again. Anyway, while I'm doing this...
Shall I find new game?
Oh, there it is. You can find stuff about stuff. We're very organised.
Wow, there's not a lot of great games coming out next week.
Okay, well, I've got the... Man, we haven't done them for a while. Okay. Let me just do this stuff. Okay, the first one is Devil May Cry 5.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do. Feeling time right now.
I'm pretty sure I didn't win that one, even though I should have.
You might have, who knows?
Yeah, I'm surprised you still haven't picked that game up, man. You were like gung ho about this. You're just like, what happened?
I can't remember. If you're over it, it's if you're under it and closer, right?
Who?
If you're over it, I'm the closest. I'll just give it to me. Fuck it. Yeah, I get a point.
What? You gotta tell us what the numbers are, man.
Okay. Devil May Cry 5. It's got an 88 Metacritic score. Tim, 64. Gary, 77. And me, 95. So I'm the closest.
Yeah, you are the closest.
The next game is Left Alive, which was a game by a company.
Oh my god!
Well, yeah, okay. Left Alive by Square Enix. Tim,
yeah.
55. I was so close. I missed it by millimeters. Chile, 92.
Oh my god.
And Gary, at 50, means you're the closest because it has a score of 37.
Yeah, baby. Give me my point.
Now, next one is Days Gone. Days Gone, which is the zombie game that Gary's been playing recently.
They're not zombies.
Fine, freakers.
Help you out, man.
Alfonso, 91. Chile, 81. Tim, 78. But the closest, at 70, is Gary. Because the score is 72.
Yeah, baby.
You did it!
Deuce pointos. Deuce pointos for me. I feel happy. I like to win. Winning is fun. It's not about sportsmanship. Whoever tells you that, the only reason people tell you that is because they're always. Is that bad of me to say?
Okay. Mortal Kombat 11. Alfonso. Oh, so close. 89. Tim. 92. Chile. Okay, me. 75. Then Gary. With 88. Who is the closest? Because Mortal Kombat has 83.
What? How am I the closest?
Because 85 is... It's 83. I've got 75 and you're not 88. So you're technically only 5 points over. Well, I'm 8 points under.
Damn, another win.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? I want crab cake sandwiches now.
Wait, what?
I want a parade.
Oh, I thought you said crab cake sandwiches.
I did say crab cake sandwiches. They are delicious.
Okay. I will take your word for it. So, in order of points, it goes Chile with 1 point.
Now I see why you didn't want to do Metacritic.
Tim with 3 points. Gary with 5. So yeah,
That's it. That's it.
that's it. That's all we've done.
Oh shit,
So
man! I'm gonna stretch a little bit. I feel good. Like, with my victory.
make sure your jeans are, Make sure the zipper's up, in case it's in case you got too excited. Make sure you don't stand up too fast. You don't want to knock over your table.
Oh my god.
So,
should we do a new game or skip it this time?
we'll stick it for now. We'll do a new game next week. Otherwise, it would just be me and you, and that's unfair for Tim.
Well, yeah, that's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, 50-50 chance that you'll win anyway.
Oh my god. And a 50-50 chance that you'll win.
Yay. Right, let's wait till Tim. But we've caught up now, so I'm going to save the file.
Oh my god. I think my way's better.
So, is there anything you want to bring up before we wrap up?
Off the top of my head, no. I did get to see Avengers. Is that bringing it up?
I want to talk about Endgame.
Okay.
Look, we'd have to warn people. Look, I guess spoilers? Spoilers?
Oh, we're doing it on the podcast. Okay.
Well, we can talk about it after the podcast if you want. I'll just get another taco. Huh?
I'll just get another taco.
I love that scene, by the way. When we're landing and then knocks the taco out of his hand.
Yeah.
So how can have you got any shouts on how can I contact you then?
Yeah, shout outs to you guys, of course. Shout outs to Tim, who's not able to be here today. Chris, always miss you, buddy. My boy Ed. Alfonso, hope to have you back soon. Hope you're doing well. Shout outs to all the awesome people I met and got reconnected with at the Borderlands 3 event. It's always fun to talk to everybody there. Good times. Yeah, that's it for me. You can reach me at Gagaush. That's GAGLAUSH.
I'd like to shout out to Klaus at Phoenix Down. A shout out to Alfonso. A shout out to Ed. It was nice chatting with you. Hope to have you on again in the future. Shout out to Tim. We really miss you. Shout out to Chris. I hope you're doing well. Shout out to Tasty Peach Studios. Go check her out at twitch.tv/Tasty Peach Studios. She's trying to raise money for charity. She's raised $2,222 over the last couple of days. So, I will be joining her live stream on May 11th, so please look forward to it. And I'll also be streaming with Brian from Work to Game at the end of May to discuss my thoughts on the job changes to Final Fantasy XIV. So, you can find me in all those different social media. You can find me on different social media platforms, but make sure you can follow me on Twitter at @MGR_Chile. Also, remember, Moogle Go Around Radio just celebrated its 3rd year of recording. So go check us out at twitch.tv/Moogle Go Around Radio. So for now, I'm going to end it, and that's the end of this week. So until next week, I guess no enemy podcast. Bye!